Now we're going to talk about some football.
Welcome back, guys. It's NFL time.
NFL time. And unfortunately for the Jets, it hasn't been their time the last couple weeks.
Yes, but lucky for the Jets and the Jets fans, the season's still very early, and they just acquired a new player.
Yeah, not just a player, not, like one of the best, right? In the wide receivers in the past couple years. Davante Adams reuniting with Aaron Rodgers. How exciting to see that on like a week to week basis for the Jets.
It's been speculated for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like since in the offseason.
Yeah, and I think it's like a fourth round pick that can turn into a second round pick depending on.
Oh yeah, I think how he does.
How he does.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think the offensive line, has been a little inconsistent the last couple of weeks, but they're not getting injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like the biggest thing with Jets. Like not like the injuries aren't killing us. It's just the performance.
Yeah.
The defense has been a little lackluster the last couple of weeks. I guess I was kind of hoping for more of dominance, but like you said, it's not what we anticipated. But there's still so much time, and the cool thing about this in particular is that Aaron Rodgers, he's been there, he's done that. He's lost like 4 games straight and found a way to make it in the playoffs. For us to win the division, the way that the Bills are playing, it's a little tough. I know that they acquired Amari Cooper, which is a nice acquisition for them, but
I did not see that coming at all. By the way,
I did. I think that they tried to transition themselves with not at number one, but. They definitely do need it. You know what I mean? Josh Allen is just running and waiting for an opportunity. I think they owe him a little bit more to kind of give him a little bit more of a consistent route runner. To kind of make it a little bit easier for the wide receivers.
Yeah, you could tell at the beginning, like going into it, like at the beginning of the season until now, like like you said, like they tried like to go with things and like. Apparently, like they were targeting like the tight ends a lot more than the wide receivers, and like getting the run game going, which is great.
Yeah.
But like changing their identity a lot.
Yeah.
Like they were very, very, very pass happy.
Yeah, and it was super unfortunate because the Jets had so many opportunities with the kick, with the 3 points, but they weren't able to get it. I think that there's a lot of. I think Salah had to go, right? Because. Unfortunately for Salah, he wasn't able to get the fire out of him. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I heard things that like he wanted to do exactly what they did after they fired him. He wanted to take play calling away from Nathaniel Hackett, and I think it was Woody Johnson who ultimately made the decision to let him go. Apparently Aaron Rodgers had no part in him being like let go. Like we don't know. We're on the outside looking in. Who knows if that's true or not. But with that being said, like you make all these changes and stuff, and like if that's the change that the coach wanted to make, why not just let him make it and let him own it? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think that this was just like this season a problem. I think it was just an overall kind of like
I understand that too, but I mean like this is a great roster, man. And
it is a great roster, dude. They had the best 5-game stretch, and now I think they have the eighth hardest schedule now. Luckily for them, they get a late bye, so the next stretch is going to be a little bit easier for them. But like you said, they have a roster, dude. I don't know what they're going to do with Mike Williams. I don't know.
I mean,
because he was a huge disappointment. That one last missed opportunity where he fell, and then it was the pick where the Jets could have had an opportunity to try for a field goal. Not a lot of positive with Mike because there was so much upside, right?
Yeah.
And then you rarely hear about their rookie acquisition, Mekhi Conley, right? He was supposed to be their speedster, right? And even Gibson, you don't hear about him too, They're still, I think they needed to make a change and a spark, I felt the spark when they played against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
The weather and the circumstances did play a part.
Yeah.
But they looked a lot better.
I know what you're saying, and I totally agree. Like when you know you have Giants situation similar like to Kenny Galladay a couple years ago. Like you have a guy who is like very 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 talented. Like why aren't plays being made like on the football field? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is it not translating?
Yeah.
But like it could be chemistry. It could be just like not understanding the scheme, not being together as players. It could be numerous things. But this is a good problem for the Jets to have a lot of depth at the wide receiver position.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I think it will be a huge benefit going forward, not giving the huge mantle to Garrett Wilson, right? So give him some flexibility because he's getting double teamed all the time, and he's been able to find ways to get the ball.
Right.
I love the Davante Adams trade because it tells me that Aaron Rodgers is going to have one more year. You know what I mean? He's probably going to be like what is he like? He's going to turn 41. He's going to be like 42 or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up right now. But yeah, I mean, like
he has to have one more year, right?
Yeah.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
There's no way it's just a half a year with Davante Adams.
I mean, we have to see how this season could be like. I feel like the spectrum for this season to end
because
could be like so low to so high.
Yeah, because I think in his contract, and you can
He's 40 right now.
You can backtrack it. His contract was for 3 years or for 2 years. I think it was like a 3-year contract.
Oh, 3 years.
Yeah, so he has one more year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
After this year.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I mean, but yeah, they have to put it all together with I guess it's Jeff Ulbrich helps to pull it all together.
I think I do think Aaron Rodgers was like, dude, if you don't get Davante Adams, I'm gonna retire next year. I kind of felt that mentality.
I definitely think he had a part to do with Salah getting out of there too. Like I'm pretty sure. Like
well, I think Salah did it to himself. I don't want to put other people to blame in that situation, but the record is his record, man.
It is, and like I think. I mean, I've seen this on like talk show hosts and stuff. Like like he pretty much gave the keys to Aaron Rodgers for the Jets organization. You know what I mean? Like he let Aaron Rodgers kind of like all the acquisitions and stuff was for Aaron Rodgers. He got all the players that he wanted. Everything that Aaron Rodgers asked for, he pretty much got. Like you know what I mean?
Not just that.
And not even him, the GM, which was a great GM.
Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas, the ability to acquire all the players that they have is very difficult.
But I guess my thing is like, we'll dive in with the Giants a little bit, but their quarterback. I mean their coach. There's situations where you're in the game and you feel like you're in the game.
Yeah.
There were some times with Salah where I didn't feel like they had a chance.
Yeah.
And I think coaching is such a big aspect of it. Not saying that the Jets have that coach right now.
Right.
But
I understand
coaching is such a big.
Whenever you're
component.
a fan and you're watching the game, you want to be able to feel the competitiveness of your team.
Yeah, but just like such, like strategy wise, it's such a big component, and like you said, I think they were relying a lot on Aaron Rodgers. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is just a player. You know what I mean? You have to rely on your upper staff members, right? The leadership aspect.
Yeah.
It shouldn't just come from team players.
Yeah.
It should be coming from their coaches and, like you said, all the way up to the general manager. All the way up to the Woody Johnson. But but that's my thing with a little bit of a rant. But
no, I mean it's good. We're diving like I mean, like we have to analyze what's happening. Like the Jets organization, they started the season with high expectations. Things haven't gone that way.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out why. Like, we're talking about why.
But they like you said, there's still a lot of time, and the wild card is looking really nice. But this year, do they have an extra wild card spot, or is that just baseball?
I think it's just 7 teams total for like each conference.
Okay.
So like the number 1 seed will get a bye,
Okay.
and the following 6 teams will compete at the wild card in the wild card round. Yeah.
So you want to talk about a little bit of the Giants?
Sure. Yeah.
I think Neighbors is coming back a little.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's huge for the Giants. One big thing though is the left tackle, the starting left tackle Andrew Thomas. He might be out for the season. I think they still have to do more tests and stuff, but like that's not a good look for the Giants. Like they've had this offensive line problem for years now. I want to say a decade now, but Yeah, like that's one thing. You can't really control injuries or anything like that. But Neighbors seems to be coming back, and they're playing the Phillies. I mean the Eagles.
Eagles. So it's going to be nice to see Barkley, play against.
For who?
Well,
For Eagles
just
fans.
as a
For
football
Eagles
fan.
fans, baby.
But I just like the way that they're playing. They're playing just like a little conservative with with their quarterback.
Yeah, I think so too.
But the running has been pretty consistent. Singletary, he's been injured the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But Tracy and what's his name, Gray?
Eric Gray, yeah.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because there's not a lot of film with them.
I always think that's a factor, like especially when you put a new guy in.
Yeah.
The defenses don't really know how to react. Like I say a lot about like backup quarterbacks too when they get thrown in the game. Like they have a good chance of moving the ball.
Yeah.
Because defenses don't really know or aren't really prepared too much.
Yeah.
At least. But yeah. We'll see how they do against how they game plan against the Eagles. But the Eagles are a great team. They haven't performed well in the past couple weeks.
I think the Eagles are the only team that hasn't scored a touchdown in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Which is so not them with all of their
Yeah.
they were supposed to be projected as one of the best teams.
Right. Another thing too, AJ Brown has an injury and he's just coming back now. I think he only played week 1 and then last week was his first week back.
Yeah.
So that could be a factor too. But I mean, going back to all the way to last season, the Eagles' offense has struggled.
Yeah. Against the Giants.
Yeah. So, do I expect that to happen this week? Not really. I expect the Eagles to own this game, and prepare well because they know what's at stake, especially for Saquon.
Yeah.
And especially for just expectation reasons, the Giants going to this season should not be anywhere near the Eagles, on paper.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The Giants defense has been playing well. Dexter Lawrence has been playing well. Brian Burns has been playing well.
Yeah, Thibodeau.
So if they can get Thibodeau too, I think Thibodeau is also going to be out I think he has a hand injury. So, but as of last week, I think the Giants going into last week, the Giants were the leading team in sacks.
Yeah.
So if they can get pressure on Jalen Hurts and get in that backfield and disrupt Saquon Barkley, they have a chance. But that's a lot to ask. That's a lot to ask.
But and the good thing is that it's not all just I would say when you get Neighbors back, he was like a stud, right?
Yeah, and that's if you do all those things defensively, then on offense you have to move the ball. With Devin Singletary banged up, Tyrone Tracy, and pretty much have him be the sub guy, and then who's going to be the receiving guy? It's going to be Neighbors. Everybody knows it's going to be Neighbors. Yeah, the Eagles know it's going to be Neighbors.
But Slayton has been pretty good.
Slayton has been really good,
and a lot of their I don't know who the other one is. That's been pretty consistent. There's Robinson. Robinson's been pretty good as their slot receiver.
Yeah.
They've been pretty good. And now that they're kind of creating their identity in the offensive side, I think it's definitely giving confidence in the defense, and they're putting themselves in the best positions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Giants, their conference is good.
It's very tough, especially with Washington playing as well as they have.
Yeah.
Daniels, very unexpected.
Yeah.
But happy for them. Happy for that franchise. Dallas is struggling a little bit too, but I assume that they're going to pick it up at the mid-season, towards the end of the season. Dak's the highest paid player, I believe. CeeDee Lamb might be the highest paid wide receiver. I expect them to get back on the same page at some point. Maybe this week.
Yeah. I think they might have a bye this week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I've been a little hater on Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
he's been stepping it up a little bit. But
his thing is he hasn't been turning the ball over, which has been my thing about him.
Yeah.
Which is good, and his completion percentage has been pretty high, which is good. But they have to do what they can. Their team is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? They have to make do, and you're gonna have to, whatever they have, injuries, no injuries, they're gonna have to find a way to be competitive in games. And,
and this will be a big challenge. What are the Giants?
They're 2-4. I believe.
2-4, like the Jets.
Yeah.
The 2-4. Okay, so they're still in it. If they beat the Philadelphia, that'd be huge.
That would be huge, but because it's a division game. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are super excited for this upcoming week. A lot of surprises, but that's why we love football.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some of the surprises are coming from the Jets side, but it's all good. It's only week 7 now, but there's still ways to go.
There's a lot of football left. And like just like looking at this season up till now so far, it's been a pretty exciting season. I've seen some great games. I've seen some great play from a lot of different teams, and like yeah, we'll continue to narrate and keep you guys updated on what's going on.
Thank you for watching, guys. And for my Chelsea fans playing against Liverpool, hopefully they can pull it off.
Let's go Reds.
Let's go. Dude, Liverpool's been killing it, but I don't know. I have a feeling I'm bleeding blue right this week.
That's okay, man. We got to root for our team. That's all we can do.
All right. Have a good one, guys.